The West Asia war at this point is entering a dangerous phase where we're looking at global security, energy markets, and all of it is currently being pushed to the edge. United States has now confirmed that its stealth B-2 bombers have struck deeply buried Iranian missile production facilities, dropping dozens of 2,000-pound bunker buster bombs in an effort to dismantle Tehran's missile infrastructure. Washington says that this is part of a sweeping military campaign called Operation Epic Fury, and significantly, the White House has not ruled out boots on the ground in Iran. 2 Iranian drones struck near Dubai International Airport as well, injuring civilians there, one Indian included. Now, the Strait of Hormuz, the world's most critical oil artery, is a key waterway through which 20% of the world's oil passes. This is at the center of a tense military standoff. President Donald Trump has issued a stark warning to Tehran, saying remove any mines placed in the strait immediately or face consequences never seen before. The U.S. military says it has already destroyed multiple Iranian mine-laying vessels near the waterway. Let's hear it what Trump has to say.
See, but we will hit them so hard that it will not be possible for them or anybody else helping them to ever recover that section of the world if they do anything.
Well, that's U.S. approach. Now, Tehran, meanwhile, is responding with all its warning. At least 3 civilian ships were attacked near key shipping channel as Iran launched its most intense strikes of the war. One of them, it struck, was a Thai carrier, which was en route to in Gujarat's Kandla port when it was struck and the vessel caught fire. It took a long while. In fact, nearly 20 people were rescued from that ship, and the fire was doused. But it clearly looks like Iran now targeting key assets of all countries, neighboring countries at this point. MEA has confirmed 2 Indians have been killed in this attack where this Thai ship was targeted. Senior Iranian leader Ali Larijani has said that the Strait of Hormuz will either remain a route of peace and prosperity or become a channel of defeat and suffering for what he calls warmongers. Now, that message underscores how dangerously close the world may be to an energy shock that could ripple through every economy. For India, the stakes are enormous. Nearly a fifth of the world's oil passes through the Strait of Hormuz, and New Delhi is actively weighing naval escorts for Indian commercial ships in that region. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar has held detailed conversations with Iran's foreign minister as India scrambles to safeguard its energy lifeline and maritime trade routes and Indian sailors. Markets are already reacting. Oil prices are now swinging widely, dropping and surging within hours as fears of supply disruptions collide with reports that the International Energy Agency may release the largest emergency oil reserves in history to stabilize global markets. So how does one secure the Strait of Hormuz? Is this likely will remain open or become the flashpoint of a global energy crisis, which it already appears to have become? Are there alternative routes that India can explore? Also, India has said the LPG problem will get sorted within 25 days till ships start arriving from their origins. But where is this really coming from? Now, a quick one on that. Ujjal Singh, Ambassador, your take on Iran and the United States. I've asked you this question in the start of our debate itself, but why don't you give us a little sense on the kind of targets that the US is handpicking in Iran to bomb it? Like their missile infrastructure is strategically being targeted. There's no question that the US and Israeli intelligence is very strong. They probably have boots on the ground in Iran, and they're going right at the target. But as much as they say, and as much as we're seeing all of this publicity on news media, international media, Iran is still fighting. So if they've really got their critical infrastructure, where are these missiles coming from? It can't be as if Iran has been hiding so many.
Well, let me answer it in a different way. The United States is picking its targets, but it's also interesting to see what it is not targeting. Specifically, the Kurg Island processes about 80% of Iran's exports, and that Kurg Island has not yet been targeted because the United States also has an interest in stability, in global stability of oil prices. So they are picking their targets very carefully, and let's see where that goes. As far as the Hormuz Strait is concerned, I don't think the solution is a military solution. I don't think naval escort ships can guarantee safety of passage. It has to be diplomacy. And the conversation that our External Affairs Minister had yesterday with Dr. Arakchi, the Iranian minister, was indeed very interesting. And if you see the Iranian readout of that conversation, it appears that it was a very constructive conversation. I hope that there are more such diplomatic reach outs to Iran from India, and hopefully they will lead to a situation where Iran will provide some assurances of safe passage for Indian vessels.
A final word, Captain Bansal. As I started off asking you, who are the mediators in this war? I see if there's any potential, India has it.
See, firstly, mediators, Oman was doing the mediation, and I think both Iranians trusted them, Iranians wanted them to mediate. India could be a mediator if India actually takes the initiative. That's possible. And let me be very frank, the naval escorts can escort the ships, but government must have the will. It will not ensure foolproof movement, but yes, government of India can escort Indian ships out, and Navy has the wherewithal to take them. There may be some damage, but we can easily counter them. But that would require deployment of naval ships going in and escorting merchant ships from there. They can provide they can defend ships to some extent. Mining can be, they can demine the waters. That's also feasible. Minesweepers can do that. So that feasibility is there, but that's a very high cost option. And not all ships can be defended. The Indian ships, we can take out Indian ships or the cargo which is coming to India. But the problem is that many of the the countries where the production is taking place have actually shut it down, like Iraq, Qatar. So that is a problem. So we'll have to look for alternatives, because unless, of course, we can take the crude and gas out faster, you will see that most of these production wells and fields will shut down temporarily, and that will take long time for them to start production again.
Right. All right. I really appreciate both our guests. Thank you so much for sharing your views on this show.